Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're having an absolutely beautiful day. In today's video, we'll be taking a look at 12 phrases that fake people always say. But before we get into it, make sure to subscribe for more videos like this one. And with that being said, let's begin. Number 1. It's all in your head. If someone says this to you, then it's most likely they trying to tell you that whatever problem you facing is not real or it's not important. They might try to tell you that your feelings are not valid and you shouldn't feel the way you do. However, this could also be true because many things that upset us are just in our heads. For example, if you have social anxiety and someone says something rude to you, you may think about that comment for days and make it seem much worse than it actually is. The person who said something to you may have no clue that you rethinking of their comments so much, and they may even apologize if they knew how much their words affected you. Therefore, sometimes it truly is all in your head, and it's best to focus on what you can control. However, if someone is using this phrase to invalidate your feelings, then it's best to stay away from them. Number 2. I know what you're thinking. When someone says this to you, it means that they think they know you better than you know yourself. They think they understand your thoughts, feelings, motives, and intentions without you even saying a word. This is why it's better to assume that nobody truly knows you unless they ask you questions about yourself and actually listen to your answers. It's hard to know someone truly unless you spend a lot of time with them and have deep conversations. So it's important not to take anything someone says too personally. Number 3. Don't overthink it. Many people use this phrase when they don't know what to say, and it's best to ignore them. Even though overthinking can be bad, telling someone to stop overthinking is like telling them to stop breathing. It's impossible not to overthink things sometimes, and it's not something you should be ashamed of. Overthinking often happens when we care a lot about something, and it can be hard to control. Instead of saying, don't overthink it would be better to say, let us try to think positively, or I believe everything will work out for you. Number 4. You need to relax. This phrase is similar to the previous ones because it's used when someone doesn't know what to say, and it can sometimes come off as rude. Telling someone to relax is like telling them they're redoing a bad job at living their life, and it can make the other person feel judged. We all have different ways of doing things, and some people move fast while others take it slow. It's important to respect everyone's pace in life. Number 5. It's not a big deal. Have you ever had someone dismiss your feelings by saying, it's not a big deal? Whenever someone says this to you, it means that they don't care about how you feel and they think you shouldn't either. They're trying to convince you that you shouldn't be upset and that your feelings are invalid. Of course, some things really aren't a big deal, but this phrase should only be used when someone asks for advice. Otherwise, it's best to focus on making the other person feel heard rather than telling them to ignore their emotions. Number 6. Just forget about it. This phrase is similar to the last one, and it can be hurtful when someone tells you to ignore what happened. Some people may think that suppressing your emotions is the best thing to do, but it can actually lead to more problems in the future. Bottling up your emotions and trying to pretend like nothing happened can lead to burnout, stress, and even depression. It's best to talk about what's bothering you and find healthy ways to express your emotions rather than pretending like they do and exist. 7. Why are you so sensitive? Have you ever been called too sensitive? If so, then you probably felt hurt and confused because no one wants to be called too sensitive. This phrase is used when someone doesn't want to take responsibility for their actions. By calling someone sensitive, they're trying to shift the blame onto the other person and say that they're the problem, not them. It's important to remember that you should never allow someone to call you names, and you should always stand up for yourself. Number 8. That's just how it is. Whenever someone tells you that something is just how it is, it means that they don't care about your feelings and that they wouldn't try to make things better. They may try to tell you that something is just the way it is to stop you from asking any more questions, and they might do this because they're hiding something. Overall, it's best to avoid people who say this because they tend to be uncaring and selfish. Number 9. I'm sorry you feel that way. This phrase is similar to the first one we talked about because it's another way of telling someone that their feelings aren't valid. When someone says this to you, it means that they don't care about your feelings and they don't want to hear about them. It's as if they retelling you that you shouldn't be feeling the way you do and that your emotions are wrong. This phrase is very hurtful and it can make someone question their own feelings. 10. Who cares? The next time someone asks you a question and you don't want to answer, instead of saying, "Who cares?" it would be better to say something like, "I don't feel comfortable sharing that with you," or "That's a good question, but I prefer not to talk about it right now." Saying "who cares" can be rude and dismissive, and it can make the other person feel like their question was stupid. It's important to treat others how you want to be treated, and using kind words can go a long way. Number 11. It wasn't me. Another common phrase fake people say is, "It wasn't me." You may have heard this before when someone did something bad and try to put the blame on someone else. Fake people tend to be selfish and they'll do anything to protect themselves, even if it means hurting others. It's important to stay away from people like this because they only bring negativity into your life. And finally, number 12, don't judge me. Have you ever heard someone say, "Don't judge me" before doing something bad? Fake people tend to say this before doing something wrong because they want to make sure they don't get in trouble. They use this phrase as an excuse to do whatever they want, and they may use it so often that it becomes a part of their vocabulary. When someone says this before doing something, it's a good idea to stay away from them because they're probably trying to hide something. And with that being said, these are 12 phrases that fake people always say. If you've noticed any other phrases that you think should have been included, then leave a comment below. As always, the references and studies used in this video are added in the description below. Remember to share this video with someone who needs it, and until next time, take care.